Hey guys, this is Ariane and Scott from This Nomadic Idea. I was so inspired by a video I watched on how to make bug screening for your camper van. So in this video, I am going to show you exactly how to do it, how we did it, corners that we cut from the video that ended up making this project so much easier. Before you can make bug-proof window screens, you need to actually get the screening itself. It works best if you can actually go with no-seam screening. It is a lot more costly, but what we decided to do with only several days to go until we hit our road trip up to Quartzsite, Arizona, we went and just got the best screening that we could find. Now we went with fiberglass. It's sturdy enough to where it won't rip, and it cost us about $14 give or take for approximately 48 by 84 sizing of the screening, which is enough to be able to cover the front two windows and then some for some air to occur. Other things that you're going to need to create this project is some kind of binding. We went with black duct tape because it is as similar to the screening as possible, so it hides it. But you can also, if you are very savvy with a sewing machine, you can actually get binding from a fabric store, which is actually going to probably hold up more long term. This was cheap, this was easy, and I have absolutely no sewing experience whatsoever, so I went with this, and so far so good. It seems to be holding up very well to the wear and tear that we've already put it through. So you need some side of binding here. We went with duct tape, like I said, and then you are going to need a kit, which is a snap kit. Now this kit you can find, you want to go with, you can find it in any fabric store, but you want to go with heavy duty snap kits. Now there are several that come into this kit. One, you have the tool set, which is going to be very important to be able to create the snap, to be able to create it snapping together and binding into your binding material. So this kit right here is what's going to be able to create that inside your binding. So in the kit comes several pieces that you'll need. There is a piece, looks like this. You can differentiate it between the other piece that sticks up because this piece has a hole through it. This you do not need at all. This piece you don't need, so you can just completely discard of. You don't need that. The three pieces that you are going to need are these right here. And depending on the actual kit from the company that you get, they will look a little different. Just make sure that you get heavy duty. You're going to have this piece, which is going to be the outside piece that creates the snap. This is physically what you're snapping into. You're going to have this piece right here, which binds to the other end of that right there. And that is what creates the durability of snapping back and forth. And then this piece right here, which is the most integral piece in this whole project, this piece is what you are now going to use to drill into the frame of your van. The absolute hardest part of this entire project is drilling into the frame of your van. This is the piece, if you remember, this is the piece that you are actually drilling. We ended up using a number 6 3/4 inch sheet metal screw, and it looks something like this. This ended up being perfect for our project. It wasn't too long, so we weren't drilling through too much of the metal in there, but it was long enough to be able to hold. Again, the most important piece is that this right here sits flush to it so that you are not, you have the ability to snap in. And you can see in this next image what it's going to look like once it's all screwed into the van. So of course you need a drill bit to be able to complete this project. We ended up with a 332, and this is going to be small enough to be able to make that hole not big enough to where it doesn't fall out and grasp it into the actual metal of the van itself. We went through several of these, so I'd highly advise you maybe picking several up so you're not stopping your project like we had to do and backtrack back to Home Depot to go get the rest of the tools. Okay, so those are the basic tools that you're going to need to be able to make this project and do it with ease and completion. So to get started, the number one thing you need to do is maybe have a partner with you. It's a lot easier, but you can use tape to be able to guide yourself if you are solo in this process. It will work. It just takes a little bit more time and effort to complete it swiftly. So you are going to take your screening. The first thing we did is simply use the corner of the screen and lined it up in this far corner of the van itself. Once we decided where the screen was going to go, we tried to line it up the best that we could so we didn't have to make any additional cuts to the screen that were unnecessary. So once we had lined it up on this side all the way down and lined it up on the top all the way, we marked that. I had help. Again, you can use a piece of tape to help you with this if you don't have somebody to help you hold it. And then you just guide it where you want it, and then falling as far down as you want it to fall, and make your initial cut. Keep in mind that you want about ½ an inch above where you're measuring to be able to pull taut. Okay, so once I ended up getting my sizing right, what I felt was the appropriate sizing, I simply took the straight edge and I lined it with one layer of duct tape. Then I did a second layer of duct tape, and so I folded 2 layers of duct tape to get a very sturdy bind on the edge of my screening, so it sticks to but doesn't rip the screening when I'm moving it on and off. Here's an example for you right here. This is what the finished product is going to look like once you have your double bind. It is very, very, very sturdy. So once you place this inside, you're going to use this tool and lay this flat surface on it so you have something to bang onto. Then you're going to use this tool, place that on top of. Very easy to do, a lot of fun. What you're going for is now this is indented and holding the snap together, and now you have the snap to be able to snap in to your van. Okay, so now you have at least taped the initial edge, and I would advise you start at the very top of this. Now, we chose to start with this particular one. We drilled in that one piece that I taught you to drill in. You can see how the inset of the screw falls below it so that you can easily snap into. Once you do that, you are going to snap your first piece on, and I'm going to show you how to do that snap in just a moment. You're going to snap the first piece on, and now you have it tight. From there, you're going to somehow mark, and I just used, because I have black rather than a color, a black marker would have showed up, so I just chose the inside wherever this, I lined it up. I made sure the sides were lined up also, and I just simply poked a hole in this to be able to gauge where I needed to drill in the snap to it. And I simply did one at a time, and I made sure it lined up properly before I went on to the next, and then I did the entire top, and then I fell to the side, snapped all those in. And then I would take it off each individual time to be able to make sure that my snaps were correct. Now, it doesn't always snap in very easy. Sometimes you have to maneuver it a little bit. And so you just snap it in, and then you just keep going down and over individually, one by one. I took it off each time to make sure that it was lining up appropriately. Now this, you can see how quickly and easily it comes off and how durable it is, even with me yanking and pulling on it. So there you go. At the end of the day, you have a beautiful bug screen to protect you from all the little creepy crawlies at night. So please go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you get notified about any future videos that we make. Thanks so much for watching.